something you have to just work on every day, leading into the first game and carry out throughout the season.
Right,
So.
you guys broke it down in the middle of practice. Just curious, what was the conversation with Coach? And maybe, depending on what that conversation was, how is this training camp different than other training camps you've been a part of?
Well, I mean, it's way harder than what I've been used to. I've been out in LA. It's not as taxing as this. The weather's kind of fair out there. Down here, this reminds me of my college days, being back at Miami. And it's hot, so you really got to take care of yourself. Have a process. You go home, take care of yourself, eat right, sleep right, and you should be okay.
And what was the conversation you guys had with Coach?
Just the same things I just said. Just getting out the field, taking care of ourselves, going to get some rejuvenation, getting off our feet for a little bit, getting ready for meetings. That's more mental, so we got to make sure that's in order as well.
What was it like seeing fans in attendance after a year without them?
It's great. Anytime the fans get to come out, I love it. That's part of the reason I play for. I love making the fans happy, and anytime we can get fans out here, man, that's a great thing.
Urban has put a lot of emphasis on the whole sports performance thing. I'm just wondering, based on what you've seen in your time here, how different is the emphasis on that, and what have you seen that lead to, either on the field or just in the way that the team looks physically?
It's a real focal point. I've been other places, not saying that they were bad at it, but it just wasn't as emphasized as it is here. Here it's great, man. We got everything, at our hands, anything we need, just so we can kind of focus in and do what we need to do on the field. So hats off to Coach Urban putting a great team together for that.
Can you give us a quick synopsis on what your thoughts were when you first saw the regeneration room?
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've never even used half of the stuff in there, so I'm excited to use some of that stuff. We got a float tank. We got cryotherapy and everything. So that's something that's completely different from here than where I used to be.
Red light therapy and the cocooning, have you done any of that?
None of that before.
Have you done it since?
No.
They put it in?
No, I have. I've signed up. So we have to sign up, guys. And I'm just waiting my turn right now. I can't wait to get in there and kind of see what it's like.
Do you have a feel for what kind of personality this defense is going to have this year?
We still just kind of filling things out, but I know one thing I had to say, we are really competitive. That's one thing I can see out of this group of guys, and I just feel like, that's me being where I was before. It was competitive there. I played on some top 5 defenses, and it feels, similar.
What's your impression of Trevor Lawrence so far?
Yeah. Look. No, but strong arm. He can make all the throws that I can see right now, and he's more mobile than I thought as well too. So, guys coming off the edge on those zone reads and stuff, you really gotta be on your toes and stuff. So that's one thing I really noticed when he got in. He's more mobile than I thought he was.
You were with Justin Herbert last year.
Mm-hmm.
How does Trevor compare at this stage of the game?
To me, they're kind of similar. Similar body type. Length and everything. They can make any throw you want them to, the pocket presence. So I feel like they have the similarities are there, but at the end of the day, he has to put it on the field, and we'll see how it goes throughout the season.
How much confidence did you have in the pass rush in LA, and what's it going to take for you to have a similar level of confidence with the guys up front? Can you see where that's possible?
I definitely can see it's possible. Coach, he's went into the draft, he's went into free agency to kind of rebuild that defensive line, and I feel like that's going to be one of our strong points this season. And like we always say, rush and cover work together, and we can get those guys going, man. We'll have a great season in the back end as well.
Ray, what kind of influence has Gerard Wilson been? He's been here the longest of the safeties. Just the time you've been able to spend with Gerard, what do you think?
Oh, great guy, man. He's like you say, he's a 6-year vet. I'm a 5-year vet. We actually graduated high school in the same class. I did one extra year in college together, so we're the same age. But just seeing the maturity like that, it's really just inspiring, and he did everything right. He's on the details, and he's a true vet.
What have been your impressions of Cisco now that he's finally able to get out there? Really?
I like moves, especially coming off a knee injury, being able to move like that. I don't know when he had surgery, but you wouldn't be able to tell just from looking at him. Quick breaks. He's really poised. He's poised to be a young player. I remember coming in. I wasn't as poised as him, And I was telling him that. So just try to stay in his ear just so he can kind of see where his game is compared to some of the other guys.
I was just going to say the same thing to you.
What, excuse me? That's my personal business. That's my personal business. I'll leave it at that.
Sidney Jones had a pick today, but you guys are not supposed to be
Uh-huh.
press coverage. How tough is that for you guys to, as a defensive back, to go all week with doing what you're supposed to do?
Oh, it's tough because it's just like you got some tools, right? And you go in there and just take a tool out. You know what you kind of need. So it's right now, but it kind of helps us match off man. And then I'm pretty sure when these pads get on, we'll be able to get in these guys' face a little bit and kind of challenge these guys.
Last one. Okay.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Ray. What's up, James?
What's up, guys?
How's Bevell's offense so far? Learning that, and what do you like about it?
I like everything about it. I mean, it's kind of the same as I grew up. You know, it's kind of off, so kind of used to it.
Is it nice that the offensive line is back? How much does that help you in that continuity?
It's great. I mean, it's not really good. I mean, to go when there's not the lineman there. So having them there and being able to see how they're working on with their different blocking schemes, it helps out a lot.
With all of Urban's emphasis on the whole sports performance thing, what have you noticed differently from last year, either with yourself or with how other teammates seem to be approaching getting their bodies ready for camp?
So we got a lot of new stuff, and everyone's in there all the time. And I mean, I can't wait to get done with this so I can go in there. But I mean, yeah, it's just great seeing everyone trying to take care of their body, and everyone's willing to do it. They're not tired, just ready to go home and get into bed or want to recover. So
So do you sense more of a genuine excitement from that aspect of guys preparing?
say it again.
Do you sense a bigger excitement from the players?
Oh yeah,
from that aspect.
yeah. I mean, everyone's excited about it. When he told us about it, everyone just started cheering and everything. So I mean, yeah, all the guys love it, and we're just going to keep using it till we need new stuff. So.
Have you used any of that stuff, red light therapy, cryotherapy, flotation tank, any of that stuff prior to?
No, I never really used any of that stuff before, so this is like my first time doing all this.
So is it kind of cool?
Yeah, it's real cool. I mean, I love being in Cairo, so it's great. What's up?
Do you feel a difference in your body?
Yeah, I mean, I feel a lot.
Last year?
I mean, coming out after one practice, I mean, you always feel good the first practice, but like a couple of practice after that, your body starts to wear down. And then once you get in there, I mean, going in there, it helps it out a lot, and it almost feels like the first day, but not quite. So.
J-Rob, you had the whole family out here with their current jerseys on. What did it mean to have them and to have fans out here after not having it?
I felt great. I honestly didn't see them till after practice, so because they actually came from home. So, I mean, it was great seeing them. They surprised me, and it was just great seeing all the fans out there, and I can't wait to have them in the stadium.
What have you thought of Trevor Lawrence so far?
He's a great guy. I mean, as you guys can see, he can throw very well, maneuver in the pocket. So, I mean, I can't wait to see what he does on the field.
What do you like? What do you like about this offense? Does anything stand out yet?
I like everything about it. I mean, it's going to open up a lot of the run game and the passing game, just having all those guys back there and have fresh legs coming out the backfield.
Too early to kind of figure out how the, I guess, distribution of carries is going to go, or do you get a sense for that yet?
Oh, no, I don't know. Whenever one of us gets our opportunity, we're going to go out there and do our job, so that's all we're worried about.
Give us kind of a rundown of the personalities in that running back room. Is somebody more of like the uncle? Is someone like the annoying little brother? What's kind of the dynamic?
No, I mean, I feel like it's kind of all the same. We're all kind of just chill. I mean, like last year, I think we had one guy in there maybe that was like that, but yeah, everyone's just chill. I mean, we all laugh about stuff, so it's just nothing really different.
It's not like you're like picking on Travis because he's a little guy, he's a rookie or anything?
No, we don't do that. He's a cool guy, and it's just great to have him in the room.
Your approach is the same as it was last year coming in?
The same, but giving a little more, and just trying to be consistent.
What's the general thoughts about the competition at that running back?
I always think about it competitive, but when I'm out here and when it's my turn to go, I'm always going to try to play and get what I can. So.
How's your body different from last year from a conditioning standpoint?
I feel a lot faster, and I'm able to move a little bit more, and I feel like I've gotten stronger. I'm trying to slim it down a little bit, so yeah, it's good. It feels good.
You obviously, over 1,000 yards, but 70+% of the reps. How much has there been an emphasis maybe on conserving some of that, if at all, and especially also then again in your recovery after practice?
They always talk about having fresh layers coming out, and I know once the season comes, having those fresh layers is going to help out a lot. I mean, a big play happens, get a couple more, and then come out, and then go back in, and you can have another big play just by having fresh legs. So I think that's going to help out a lot.
It's nice to come out here in a different situation where, like, you come in here as an undrafted rookie last year, and you just don't even know what to expect, and you got to fight, do what you can, and now you at least have a little bit of establishment.
I mean, coming here, you're always being watched, and I'm thinking about, like, I can lose my job any second. I can get cut. I can have any of that stuff. So I mean, I try not to look at it like that, and I just come out and work and do what I have to do every time.
Is there any particular teammate you noticed compared to the end of last year, the end of the season, and how they look going into this camp? Was there anyone that you looked at and go, ooh, he looks a lot different, or a lot bigger, or whatever?
I'll say LaVisca. I mean, seeing LaVisca last year and seeing him now, I can tell he's got strong and he's a lot faster for sure. So that guy is going to be someone to watch again.
James, third different offense in 3 years. How complex is this one?
For me, not as much. I've been in an offense like this before, and it just kind of comes natural.
All good? Cool. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, James.
Thank you, guys.
Trevor will be here in a second.
How we doing?
What's up, Darrell?
Good. First time.
Yeah.
Good to see everyone out here. Did you guys survive?
We did.
No hat?
No hat.
It's
I'll
unbelievable.
pay for it later.
Okay. A lot of sunscreen?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Is it a little different than Seattle?
Very different. Very different. I have to, after practice, you got to go in and actually shower to go to the next meeting. You know?
2 shower seasons.
How's Trevor looking for you?
I'm looking good. You know, really pleased with where he's at in terms of his preparation, and then being able to carry that over to the field. Just, you know, we'll continue to work each and every day.
How big was retention like going from OTAs to training camp? Were you pleased with the retention over the break that he showed?
I actually told the whole offensive skill guys yesterday that the retention's was really good for day one yesterday. You know, when you take that big break, those 4 or 5 weeks, a lot of times those guys shut the books and they come back and they're dusting it off and they're a lot rusty. So our guys came back yesterday. It was actually a really sharp practice for the first day. So all of them have done a nice job. And even today, you know, there was a couple things, but for the most part, they were pretty dialed in.
How big was it to you to see Trevor and the receivers get together at Clemson, you know, during the offseason period?
I mean, you love that stuff, you know, for a guy like Trevor, a young guy, and then he had some of the, you know, more veteran players over there with him. There was other guys as well, you know. I don't think they put it always out there, but you know, that's good stuff, and that's where the camaraderie starts. You know, that's where you fine tune some things, and you know, there's lines in a book, right, of like what we do, but then there's the nuances of some of it, and each guy has different nuances. So when you're able to spend that extra time, you learn that. You can read body language, and you know how a guy's going to come out of a break by the way he's going into it, and that's the stuff that they're getting done there.
good problem you have with so much depth at running back, the two featured running back?
Well, that's what we need. I mean, I feel like this game is built that way. I know Coach Meyer believes that you run the ball first, and that we want to be able to kind of exert our will on the opponent, and then it helps us do other things, in the pass game, get big plays in the pass game. Those kind of things is what we're looking to do. So to have a number of backs back there, I think there's a lot of guys that are looking really good. Just is better for us.
What stands out to you about James Robinson?
Well, I mean, first of all, the guy's undrafted, and to come in here and watch what he did last year, I think was a huge accomplishment for him. He's kind of a quiet guy, so it's been fun kind of getting to know him. But very, very physical. Obviously, love what he can do with the ball in his hands, and he's going to get his fair share of doing that.
Building off of that,
Interview
obviously
process
there was
with
an emphasis with Travis learning a receiver playbook in addition to a running back playbook, but saw obviously the running backs out there spending several drills working on pass catching. How much of an emphasis is there in your playbook and in this offense for that, for players beyond Travis?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think interesting observation that you have. That's really, really good. I think the thing that's important for us is all those guys can run the ball, right? And so there's some things that are harder at each position, and we want to practice the things that are hardest. And if we can practice the things that are hardest, then they will get better at them, and then those things become things that they're more comfortable with. So a lot of running backs, I was talking to James yesterday. I'm like, hey, how many catches do you have in college? And he's like, hey, we just ran power. They didn't hand me the ball or throw me the ball very much, and that's just what happens. And the more well-rounded you can make the players, the more successful our offense has a chance to be. And when you throw the ball, you got all the receivers running down, and everybody's covered. To find the running backs, they can, we say, make you a lot of money by taking those checkdowns. I was in Green Bay many years ago. Amon Green was actually the leading receiver on the team as a running back. He had 60 catches that year. So we want those guys to have all that skill set, and we want to work on those hard things.
How long into your interview process with Urban actually happened after you got here? Did you sort of get the feeling that his emphasis on sports performance was pretty much about as high as you can get for any head coach?
Yeah, I've never seen the level of commitment to it as we have right now. There wasn't much. It was more like getting to know him and what are we going to do? How are we going to blend this thing together in terms of the interview? But then when we got here, started talking about it, I mean, he's committed, and you can see all the commitment that we have out there to it.
As a follow-up to that, your group, your offense, from the time you got the job to what you're seeing now, who seems to have physically transformed themselves the most? What sort of caught your eye that he looks different?
Well, I would really hate to call out like one guy. Right. I mean, if you look at these guys, and it'd probably be better for you guys, just, as you look at them, because you watched them for longer than I have. But I mean, the tight end room changed. I mean, Ben Ellison, O'Shea. I mean, those guys, they look great. I mean, DJ's, I know that's well documented. But if I start picking guys out, I mean, these guys, I really haven't seen a commitment in the offseason as much as we had. And guys were here, guys were working. They weren't balking at anything. They were diving head first into it. We got a great sports performance team. We have a great strength and conditioning program, and I think it's going to show out here.
When you're installing your offense, is it this is my offense, all my stops including here, or do you change it depending on the personnel that you have?
Well, first of all, it's our offense. It's not mine. So the only thing that I bring in right now is, there has to be a starting point, right? So I bring in the verbiage, like what are we going to call things, how are we going to line up, and then kind of have a starting point for things that I like to do. But then the thing I need to do is get to know my players, get to know our players, and and then watch them work, and then put them in positions to be successful. So what we've done is we kind of showed them the capabilities of the offense, how we move guys around. We call it this way to get you here. We call it this way to put you here. And then we're running the plays, but now as we're watching them, it's like, okay, what is the best thing to do with LaVisca? What's the best thing to do with Marv? Fortunately, I had 2 years with Marv, or what's the best thing to do with DJ? And then we'll start moving them around and getting them really honed in.
How important has Marvin Jones been for you guys to be able to install the offense? Obviously, you've been with him for a couple of years. So how important has that been with Trevor and then obviously the other receivers?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have a guy, a good comfort zone for me, when Marv steps in the receiver room and they might have a question, those guys, he's able to give them more of the nuances. Like I said before, there's book lines, but Marv can kind of communicate some of that stuff. Great leader in there with Sanjay. But to have Marv, a guy that's a veteran in this league that's done some really nice things for a younger receiver room, I mean, he can help him in terms of how he takes care of his body, what his preparation's like, help get him together for the off-season stuff. He's kind of those veteran players are invaluable.
Travis impressed you so far? ETN?
Yes, yeah. I mean, we're putting him in those hard situations, and we're trying to make it as difficult as we can on him, give him a lot, and then again we'll kind of hone it down and get him exactly where we want him.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.